Greetings, and welcome to the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience. My name is Stan Houston, and I wonder if there's just two of us. Could it be that it's just me and just you on the program today? Well, is that okay? Well, I hope you know that through this week, we've been talking about the importance of an audience of one. And I would encourage you to remember what that might mean. And whatever your project is, you always begin with one. However, I imagine there's more than just one, because just as the marketer that I am, and sometimes trying to teach you in certain ways, is the title probably brought a few more people in. And that is, very simply, is your daughter a book? Is your daughter a good book? Hey, your daughter is a good book. The question is, do you know how to read her? Well, if you're someone like me who has two daughters, you're probably going to take a few minutes to listen to see what this is all about. And because we're talking about daughters, we're also going to segue into a little thought exercise for the weekend called, What are your 7 favorite things? That's right. When I'm feeling bad, I think of my 7 favorite things. Just some thoughts for the weekend. My name is Stan Houston. The Christian Entrepreneur Network comes to you right now.
You're traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of imagination. Your next stop, the Twilight Zone.
And every once in a while, just for fun, I go back to the old Rod Serling of my growing up days. Wonderful program, The Twilight Zone. And you know, that's oftentimes where we are in life. In between. Sometimes in between the dark and the light. Sometimes in between a number of things, the real and the imagined. But today I'd like to just take a little time on the weekend, again, to do what we try and do every weekend. You know that I say usually on Saturday morning you have to do a little work and get caught up with the errands, and I'll be doing that, finishing that up. Then it's time for a little rest and reflection, perhaps some relaxation. And that brings me into Sunday, where it's time to worship. And then we will start up again on Sunday night with our Sunday night meeting. And we'll have a little program entitled Songs in the Night. That's right, Songs in the Night for the deepest night. And that'll be coming your way in just a few hours on Sunday night. Let me just tell you where I'd like to take some of your thoughts today. We are putting together a wonderful conference, and I'm just going to say it right now. It's simply going to be called this, and obviously it's not just simply. It says, How to Be Fully Alive and Live a Good Life, Build a Great Business, and Expand Your Brand as a Christian Entrepreneur. And this event will be both virtual and incarnational. That means we're going to show up in your town, in your city, in your place, with about a half day, and then lunch and conversation on how to help you understand God wants you to be an entrepreneur. Jesus can teach you how to sell. Jesus can teach you how to build a company that's world class. And then together, we can learn how to become strong, because Jesus wants you to be strong. And oftentimes he wants you to be strong and stronger in the broken places, and that event is coming your way. We are planning it right now. And one of the key persons in that is my friend and colleague, David McKnight, and he is our residential expert, using particularly the incredible system called the Gallup Strengths Finders, and he's been working most of his adult career in trying to help people discover not what's wrong with them. We got enough people doing that, but what's right with you and what is strong about you and how you can become stronger. And recently, he's put together this little presentation, and I'm helping him work with it, just like I would help you work with yours. And it's very simple. Your child is a book. They are a book. And I ask you the question, do you know how to read them? And then he puts together a program which will better help you understand your children, who they are, what they are, and perhaps even more importantly, how to guide them and help them to become, with you and the Spirit of God and some insight and wisdom, to help them become all they can be. And so today, I simply encourage you to do exactly what the program is. My friend David has a wonderful daughter. She's doing extremely well, and I give him credit. There were some times when I watched him perform, I thought, why is he doing that? Well, it turns out David knew a lot more than perhaps I thought about how one should be really taking care of the listening part of working with children. And so I put it this way. Indeed, I have 2 daughters. They're grown now. They have families of their own. But there is so much I wish I would have known. Oh, if I only knew then what you know the answer, what I know now, but of course I didn't. He has a way for you to help, particularly, we'll start with that because it is a daughter that we're talking about. And you see, I know that if I make it specific, it'll bring more people in than just saying child. How to read your daughter. Now, can you read your son? Yes. But it's a little bit different because no matter what they say, boys and girls and men and women are different. That may not be the common wisdom among the culture today, but it is the eternal wisdom. In the beginning, God created a man and a woman. That's it. That's the deal. And he has a way, and I'm going to encourage him to help you and help us understand what he learned about how you can read your daughter. You see, she's a book. We all are books. There's all kinds of things that God has designed in us, things that he has written on our heart, mind, and spirit. Remember that. He's done that already. You know, he's kind of tattooed us, as I say, on his hand. God has a tattoo. We do. God has, in effect, taken his deep spirit and his design and put it in us. So may I encourage you, because I'm not going to get into it, just think about that. Maybe this week, maybe as school is coming around now and our children are getting ready to go back to school, that one of your back to school resolutions is that you will take time to learn how to read your son. Learn how to read your daughter. And you just might be surprised what is inside of them and what God has designed inside of them, and how maybe you could be a little bit better parent if rather than doing your agenda and your book, you would discover what is in their book, what God has put in their heart, mind, and spirit, and then how you can work with the master creator entrepreneur in bringing forth all the best and blessings for and to your children. We're 9 minutes into the program. If that is all you got out of this today, is the challenge, reach out to me. David and I can help you. We're here. We're always auditioning to help you with your family, have a good life, a great business, and expanding your brand. You reach us at radioedge77@gmail.com, radioedge77@gmail.com. I'm Stan Houston. This is the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience, and we'll be right back. As we are making this thing happen, you will discover that we have taken the number 37. 3% of the population know who they are and what they do and what God has called them to do. Only 3%, and we're going to help you be one of the 3. We believe that the eternal Trinity, 3, is vital to understanding the way the world works. It's not just the character of God, it's the very character of all relationship and all creation. When God decided to be 3, he knew what he was doing. But of course, you'd say, are you sure he's a he? Well, that's the word we use, but you get my point. And then the number 7, an ideal number, oftentimes a number of, completion, which means different than perfection. And after 7, our minds kind of get a little bit fuzzy on what we need to remember. So 3, 5, and 7. So we have the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Brilliant title. So we have, hey, the prayer and the 7 power principles and practices of the Christian entrepreneur. And you can have that book. It's an e-book. It's a Kindle book. It will be gladly given to you. Stan Houston at gmail.com, stanhouston@gmail.com, or you can do right here at the radio station, Radio Edge 77 at gmail.com, the 7 principles and practices that become habits and habits of the heart that will help you be a successful Christian entrepreneur. But then we have all kinds of other 7 things. For instance, we're going to actually have the 7 states of being. So part of our brand is that we're always talking about 7s. Well, here's a little exercise. In thinking of my daughters, they are truly, of all the things I have, and they are more than things, they are precious beyond measure. But if they are just a thing, they're one of my favorite things. And I was thinking about this the other day when that old song from Sound of Music, for some reason, flowed into the oldies radio experience. And perhaps you remember that. When I'm feeling sad, when I'm feeling bad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad. I'm going to ask a good friend who's a musician today. I'm going to try and help him build, as part of his encore career, remember that term, his encore career, when he gets done with, he said, Stan, I'm going to retire from my day job in about 7 months, but then I'm going to do what I really, really love to do. I'm really going to spend more and more time with my music, and I'm going to help him. And one of the things I'm going to ask him, of all the songs that he loves and performs and knows, what are his 7 favorite songs and why? And I'll be interested to see what he comes up with. What are your favorite things? Now you say, Stan, what good is that? Well, first of all, the powerful entrepreneur knows themselves. If you don't know yourself, it's really hard to know what you can offer people. And knowing yourself and being able to read yourself will really be able to help you read other people and read your customers. You see, it's not only just about, hey, your daughter is a book, learn how to read her. Everybody is a book, and you know how to read them. You get better at reading people. The successful rainmaker entrepreneur knows how to read people. Often a spiritual gift. Obviously, it's enhanced by practice and performance and prayer. But how do you read people? So, what are your favorite things? It also makes you somewhat interesting. By the way, David is going to enjoy talking about his 7 favorite songs rather than hearing about my 7 ideas. You see, I want to be interesting to David. I want to be interested in him. And you know what? I'm not going to spend all my time talking, well, the Stan Houston prayer and 7 principles. He might be interested. He might not be. But he's interested in his 7 favorite songs, his 7 favorite things. And let me tell you, if you can find out what are the favorite things of the people you're seeking to sell and work with, you will have an incredible knowledge. You will know how to read them. You've read their book and you understand. There's that great line in Patton where after defeating General Rommel, he says, "Hey, General Rommel," saying it out loud, "I read your book." And because I read your book, I knew what to do. So I just simply encourage you to think about that. I would love for you to spend a little time, first of all, thinking about how can I read my daughter? How can I read my son? Because they are books, God-given books, full of promise and power and potential. And how can I help them become all that God would love them to be and want them to be? What skills can I use to do that? And then, for yourself and to make you more interesting in asking others, I simply remember my favorite things when I'm feeling bad, when I'm feeling scared, when I'm sad, bad, scared. I simply remember some of my favorite things, some of the things that God has gifted me with and given me. That's how I feel better. I'm Stan Houston. These ideas, they come to you in less than 20 minutes, and it's part of my audition to you. I believe that I can help you. And if you'd like me to help you with a specific business life and a branding coaching issue, radioedge77@gmail.com, radioedge77@gmail.com. Yep, this is a little bit of shameless self-promotion because it's an audition. Because, my friends, remember, life is always an audition. Just let that sit on your head for a while. And we're done. Remember, take 20 minutes every day or a little bit less to perhaps get some stray learning, some new learning, something you didn't know before that can help you become whatever it is God has designed you and wants you to become, and perhaps what you want to become too. So we encourage you to do just that. radioedge77@gmail.com, radioedge77@gmail.com. We'd love to have you join us at tcenglobal.org. And by the way, if this is helpful to you, go to tcenglobal.org /contribute. We are a nonprofit organization. We're here to help you. And if you can make a contribution to the cause, tcenglobal.org /contribute, we would be grateful. All the best and blessings, and bye for now.